We're back, people, and today we're breaking down film on Malik Washington, Miami Dolphins wide receiver, who had a huge game here versus the Buccaneers, especially with the ball in his hands. I feel like he really got to shine. This was his best performance yet. Really, really important for him. I mean, he did great on special teams. I feel like he carved a role out for himself on special teams for this year, and I feel like he's going to develop more and more as a receiver. I'm going to show these plays in the order they happen because I think it's important for context of things. Because on this play specifically is the one where Mike White threw him a hospital ball and he got hit and still went back out there and made some big plays because he got destroyed on that. And that one wasn't even on him, but went out there and just made so many plays. He looked so comfortable. The game looked like it slowed down for him. He really got to show off his contact balance, his fluidity, that athleticism that is very, very important. And then I feel like the receiver plays will come for sure. He's looking even more comfortable there too, just like plays like that. But that will be more of a thing when he gets the chance to really show what he can do in the slot. They've been using him more on the outside, kind of just working his development there. But I do feel like he has a role for himself in this with design touches and the special team stuff. But it's been really, really fun to watch. This was a big game for him. Definitely a nice step for his development. And you could tell just right how McDaniel talked about him that he definitely saw the encouraging signs, and it was a very, very good performance. Here's literally the first play of the game. They got him the screen, get him going, get him in rhythm. I like that they're getting him a nice little design touch. Does a great job just instantly shifting his momentum. Look how he positions his body. Good job by Mike White, but he is opening up his hips even before he catches it to shift his momentum upfield, which he now is able to burst, and this guy doesn't get the chance to hit him as he catches it, which some guys don't shift their momentum here and they'll slow down, and this guy will get in a position to make play. He bursts, shows some nice burst, and then he just looks fluid here. Look how his cuts in this game were so good, whether it was special teams, screens, reverses, whatever it was. Quick cut, very little wasted movement. That was a big thing. He had very little wasted movement at all. You could see the fluidity within his cuts and maintaining his speed, whether it was through contact or off those cuts where he sometimes had to slow down for a split second. He really got back on, as fast as he could, which is really, really nice. And he fights through for extra yards there. Really, really good stuff overall from Malik. Okay, so here is the first punt return. After that, definitely has been good on special teams throughout the season. He looks very comfortable. I think him fielding punts is probably the biggest key here, because that's the reason Barrios, I think, has the job, is he's been very consistent at catching the ball. I don't think Malik looks very comfortable there. He's always had very strong hands. He had a very low drop rate in college. So him catching the ball at a consistent level on punts, I think, is huge for him. And then he just started making plays. He shows vision, get to the outside, pretty free run there. But once he gets there, he starts making people miss. It's the little moves, the little hesitations. Love the angles that he works here, because he instantly gets to the outside, runs past this guy, so takes a perfect angle there. But then instead of, continuously working towards the sideline, he starts to get a little vertical here, which gets this guy to slow down his momentum before, so that now he can press up into him and then get back on the outside track. Really good job understanding how angles, leverage work, how to manipulate your defenders. Sees that he's going to start to die. He also lost his blocker to get into position by doing that. And then picks up his feet, makes that guy miss. And even after doing that, getting his feet up, kind of out of position here, able to regain balance quickly, make a little hesitation move, freeze this guy, make him miss in space, get down the sideline for a few extra yards. He showed great ability with the ball in his hands. He looked so comfortable, which I think is a big thing, because he kind of has a running back build. He's been used a lot on the outside. I think they've been trying to get him going there, practicing that stuff. But he is more of a slot player, so getting him to see him use his skill set to his maximum advantage is huge. And then after those plays, I also think he runs a pretty good route here. This ball's just out super light. This is on Mike White. It would have probably been one of his better plays as a receiver. And he missed some opportunities last week too, so I think this was big for him to come out and play like this. I think he does a good job here with his pace in his route. I feel like sometimes with some of the routes that he's run, he could have done a little bit of a better job. But he does a good job just slightly angling to the outside here, playing with a slow pace, and then giving a little bit of a foot fire. Kind of raises his pad level. He's making it look like he could run multiple different routes here. And once he does that, he breaks to the inside. Definitely creates some separation there pretty naturally. The ball should be, if it's Tua, the ball's out already, right? The ball is already being released as he's breaking here, and he's wide open, by the way. This is so late. The ball still not out, still not out. Mike White is just releasing it now. like, and just throws him right into the safety. And I'm pretty sure he got the wind knocked out of him. He came out for a few plays, came back in. This is literally the next drive. Get him that reverse. Definitely like seeing them use, like, this is like the second time they've run this play with him in this preseason, and an even bigger gain. And the other one was blocked up even better. I love this concept, by the way. Just look how they motion Fortson in. It definitely is unique. They give him, like, we ran this concept a bunch last season. I don't think I ever saw them do this little motion in to then using that to, like, spin out of it. It doesn't end up really doing anything because Fortson didn't have to block anyone, but Byrne does a good job. Andrew Meyer does a great job out in space. But Malik Washington shows that speed and burst to hit through this hole as fast as possible. I feel like he has enough of that. Like, that's not his most impressive athletic trait, his burst or his speed. I think he's pretty solid in those areas. But his fluidity, his balance, his body control, I think is super impressive. His ability to, like, give you, like, his quickness, I think, is better. And, like, look how he just makes this guy miss. This is, like, a natural, almost, like, running back-like play with just being on space, giving a little stiff arm, and then just going over him, picking up your feet, doing it like a little, quick hurdle, like you're on a track almost, and just keeping that balance pretty quickly, and then trying to, like, slow down his momentum, make 38 miss. Doesn't end up quite working out, but he still is able to fall forward for multiple extra yards. Like, Malik looks very, very comfortable, and I feel like every time he got the ball, he made at least one person miss. On most of the plays, he made multiple people miss, which is great. But watching Malik play was definitely very, very exciting. And then on kick return, he does pretty much the same thing, making people miss. Even runs into one of his blockers, still makes the most of it. I love the creativity. He throws someone to the ground there. I think that was Daquan Jackson, one of the guys we added, and then he makes some other people miss in space. We can see it even better from this angle, from Malik here. Just, comfortability, catching the ball, which is big. These kick returns, almost become like running back plays. I think kick returns wouldn't surprise me now with, like, Malik's making the team for sure, especially with all the injuries that happened. I mean, I've some people say he might not, and that's crazy. But Malik and Barrios, I think, will be the ones back here, if I had to guess. It just makes the most sense. And he's done a good job, I think, with at least, like, mixing things up, takes that angle to the inside, tries to move those people, then gets back on the outside track, kind of runs into his blocker, but is able to instantly regain, gets, like, grabbed in the head there, stays on his feet, instantly accelerate, gets skinny through this hole here. Look at him get skinny. He protects the ball, but gets skinny, reduces his surface area with that, dipping the shoulder there, so runs through an arm tackle. And then after doing that, still gets up, makes the punter miss pretty nicely, stays on his feet, continuously falls forward. Like, love everything I saw out of Malik Washington in this game, especially with the ball in his hands. Definitely my favorite performance from him yet. Still just want to see more as a receiver, like truly running routes down the field. We only got to see a handful of those in this game before he came out, because he didn't play most of this. Like, he played only like a quarter and a half and had all these plays. Like, all of these plays that you guys saw were within the first, like, quarter and a half, and then he stopped playing because there was people were getting injured left and right. I understand, so he pretty much locked up his spot. I feel like he locked up a role on special teams. I feel like he's looking more and more comfortable as a receiver. Just the game slowing down for him is the biggest thing. Like, if you're seeing him it's slowing down for him with the ball in his hands, he's going to start being more and more comfortable on the receiving end. Like, he made so many plays in college as a receiver, running routes at the catch point. Like, I feel comfortable that stuff will develop and we'll see him make plays, because he does, he had a drop last week. Like, he barely ever dropped the ball in college, and I feel like he's going to improve in that area too and get back to his form. Sometimes it just takes a while to get used to the speed of the game, and this feels like that first example of where he's going to finally take off. So, me, I'm a big Malik Washington fan. I've been a big Malik Washington fan. I think the whole rookie class had a pretty good game. Jalen Wright looked really good. I'll probably have a Jalen Wright video out later. I thought Chop Robinson had some good pass rush plays. I'm going to go look back more at the film to see how he performed overall. I think Patrick Paul had a good game, so shout out to those guys. Definitely will make a video on a lot of people this week. 53-man cut is soon. It'll be interesting to see how that plays out. But shout out to Malik Washington. He had a really, really good game. So if you guys did, make sure to leave a comment and subscribe. Let's get some